So last time we talked, you were hitting up the bars with your mom. But you ain't doing that tonight, man. So how's the weight cut going? How much will you have to cut tomorrow?
Uh, well, the weight cut's going like it's always going, just miserable and
Right.
painful. But I'm about 15 pounds over right now. Yeah, that's normally what I'll cut. So I'll cut a little bit tonight, and the rest tomorrow before we get on the scale. So, but I'm just laying in my hotel room now, just resting and relaxing before I have to go cut the weight.
Okay, man. So just talk a little bit about your opponent Friday night. We actually had him on the show last night, and he seems a little nervous.
Yeah?
Yeah,
Well,
he's not
that's good for
talking. He's not, most guys are very confident in themselves. He doesn't really seem, I don't know. I know he's undefeated and everything, but it's quite the step up in competition for him.
Yeah, it's I've said it before. We don't really know how good CJ Keith is because he hasn't really fought anyone that you can measure him off of. Three of his guys he fought had 0 wins, and one or two of them had like 1 win. So he hasn't ever really been tested. I don't think. And obviously this is a lot different animal. Being at the UFC, it's a lot more pressure to win. And obviously everybody in the UFC is a lot tougher of an opponent.
Yeah, last time we were talking, you referred to it as you were going to test his undisputedness.
Yeah, he's undisputed right now. He's never lost, and so, I'm gonna put the pressure on him and really test, his heart and will to win, and see, how bad he wants to win, and it's not gonna be a fight that he just can come out and know that he's gonna win. I think a lot of his fights he knew no matter what happened, he was the better fighter and he was supposed to win. But this is a fight that he's actually supposed to lose, and I'm not going to take him for granted. I'm going to come out and do what I do, but I'm really going to test his heart, his conditioning, and how good of a fighter he really is.
Yeah, but he referred to your stand-up as being great. His was okay, and then the ground game, he says your ground game's good and his is okay. He just came across as a fighter that seemed overwhelmed by the UFC experience. Do you believe in the octagon jitters?
Yeah, man, it happened to me in the finale.
Right.
It's a real thing. A lot of people don't, get to experience it. And, one of our teammates, Brock, fighting this weekend, it's his debut fight against Rick Story. But, he's had the opportunity to be around, me, Steve, and Court at all our UFC fights. So this is just, he's done this, he's been around the whole process before, so it's nothing too new. But for someone like that that's fought only in California, hasn't fought out of state ever, out of his hometown, it's a big step up. You have media obligations, you have pictures, you have interviews, there's random people coming up to you. It's a weird experience the first time, and it really got to me in the finale, and it really kind of messes with your head.
He said he believes in octagon jitters and that it will affect him, but he hopes he can pull it out. Anyways, man, moving on from that, I got to ask you about this Queer of Folk. You and Hackelman got you addicted. You still watching it?
No, he did not get me addicted. He tried, and it was quite an interesting, dumb show, I thought. It was pretty, I don't know, I don't really watch a lot of drama shows. I like, either funny or fun, or, I don't watch drama, so whether it's that show or, he always tries to get me to watch Dexter, too, and I never really got into that, or Game of Thrones or any of those games or shows, just because, I just don't have time to keep up, and I just don't get interested in those those kind of shows. But, yeah, Queer as Folk was definitely not addicted for me.
Not addicted, okay. We'll write that one down, buddy.
But Glee is. But Glee is one of those shows that I am addicted to, so I DVR every episode so I can watch that one.
Okay, man, so just talk about fighting on the same card as Steven and Brock.
It's definitely a cool experience. We all started together a couple years ago with Court too. And we evolved in training together for a couple years, and we've always believed that we were all good enough to be in the UFC, and that all four of us could be there. And then one after another got an Ultimate Fighter, and then now Brock gets the opportunity. It just kind of reestablishes our belief that we are a tough team. We are training the right way. We will be top contenders one day. I mean, we're a young team. We're all really young. Brock's actually like the oldest one out of us, and he's 26. Siler's 20, or he's 26 or 27. Siler's 25, and I'm 24. We all trained together in when we first started MMA. But me and Brock actually wrestled together in college and been roommates at one point. And my freshman year in college, me and Brock have been friends since then. So we've been really good friends for 6 years. So it's kind of cool to get to experience this together.
And this is a question that I've been asking a lot of the fighters about this week, and majority of them think it's a good idea, but what do you think about live judging scoring in between rounds, being able to see the actual judges score in between rounds?
Yeah, I mean, that would be, I really think that'd make more exciting third rounds.
Yeah, for sure.
That'd be cool. And I also think, there should be, I was thinking about it the other day with all these bad there's a lot of bad judging scores out there all the time, and it happens, and people get screwed out of decisions, and we've all seen it. And, maybe they need to go to, I think, they need a set of rules that judges follow, because, you can ask any fighter or anyone in the industry, what is the judging criteria, and everyone gives you a different answer, or, I really don't know what the judging criteria is. Do you know what the criteria is? I've heard different things before,
I have no idea, really.
Yeah, I've never heard a solid, this is the first, judge on this, and this. And, some of these judges are, sometimes, and they've never been fighters. They've never fought a day in their life.
And Cecil Peoples came out a few months back and said he doesn't score kicks.
Oh, one of the judges?
Yeah, one of the judges came out and said he does not score kicks. Well, what are you doing?
One of the most painful things in a fight is eating a good solid leg kick.
Right.
That is one of the most painful things, or a liver kick. We'll drop people, seeing people get knocked out with liver kicks. So that's pretty ridiculous for him to say something like that.
Yeah, for sure.
And there's some judges out there that will judge a takedown that has no damage, someone that just barely finishes the takedown, the other person gets up, more important than the other person just beating on them on their stand-up, And as a wrestler, takedowns being weighted heavy, but I still don't think it's, if you take something down, you don't do any damage, there's no reward there,
Yeah.
And on the contrary, if someone's shooting and they stop a takedown 3 times and they finish one takedown, they say, oh, well, they stopped 3 takedowns for that one, so that guy won that round. But, in all reality, if you ever watch a wrestling match, it takes 4 or 5 shots before a takedown finish. So it's I think you need a wrestling judge, a kickboxing judge, and a grappling judge, and those 3 can decide who's winning the fight in each one of those areas or something along those lines, I think.
And the thing about the live scoring, that there's a few things against it, because if someone's winning 2 rounds to none and then they take a low blow, they could just say, oh, I can't finish, and they'd win the fight, right? That would be a problem with the system. But it would be cool, if somebody is getting screwed over by the judges, like they win the first 2 rounds, but the judges got it the other way, at least say, no, I got to finish this fight.
Yeah. And, part of the reason I don't like that, because I even have a problem with the whole 10-9 judging now. If you get you lose the first two rounds just on positioning or something like that, and you come out the third round and you put an ass whooping on them, and you don't get that 10-8, you only get a 10-9, then you lost the fight. But that guy has to go to the hospital, and you're fine, and you're going to go home. And I don't think that's right either, because it's a fight, and the fight should really be judged. Well, majority of it should be judged at the end of the fight. Who won the fight. That's the easiest thing you can decide is you look at 2 guys. One's bloody and beat up and has to go to the hospital. He obviously lost the fight, and the other guy is fine. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And so I really think that's a tough part, is judging a fight with all these point systems. And what it does is creates a a point fighting system, and this is just supposed to be a fight, and it used to be no time limit until someone's knocked out or taps out, and that's, I think, one of the best ways of looking at a fight is, I'm in there to hurt somebody. I'm not in there to try to hold them down or score point jabs and little teeps and this and that. I'm there to put an ass whipping on someone and make them never want to fight me again.
And it's kind of like you told me in our last interview, after Court's loss, he didn't lose the fight, he just got outpointed.
Yeah, exactly. And that's the same mentality that, all of us will take into this fight, and that's why I think we have a lot of finishes. A lot of the guys on our team have a lot of finishes, but, it's the same thing. Court may have got outpointed, but I don't think he lost the fight, really. Court was fine. There wasn't a scratch or bruise on him. So, but, the other guys leaving the fight all bloody and beat up and swollen, and, he didn't win the fight. It's a really simple but complicated idea at the same time, I think.
Yeah, for sure. Okay, man, can you give me a prediction on the fight?
I'm going with the second round submission. I think I'm going to take him down. First round, I think his takedown defense is good. His stand-up's good. So we'll have to exchange on our feet. I'll try grinding him out. But I think in the second round, I'll continue to grind him and eventually get him to the ground and start picking him apart, either get on his back or, finish another submission, after he's beat up and tired and a little bit broken.
Okay, man, and after you get this win and you go for a beer, what's it going to be? What kind of beer are you going to drink on Friday night?
I'm a big fan of local beers, so whatever the best, I love pale ale. That's my favorite kind of beer.
Nice.
So whatever the kind of pale ale that they have out here in New Jersey at the local brewery, I think I'll try to get one of those. And if not, I guess I'll just have to wait to go back home to Utah to get my Cutthroat. I don't know if you've ever had one of those, but
no.
It's a local Utah pale ale. It's my favorite one, so that's what I'm excited to go back home and drink a Cutthroat, and we're gonna go have a barbecue and barbecue up some hot dogs and hamburgers and have a good time. It's
good.
Brock's daughter's birthday, so we're gonna have a little birthday party when we get back.
For sure, man. For sure. Okay, just would you like to promote any sponsors or promote your Twitter or Facebook?
Yeah, follow me at Ramsey Nijem, and I like to my biggest sponsor out there is VA Mortgage. They do veteran home loans in the States, and just the Pit. I represent the Pit everywhere I go.
Good stuff, man. Thanks again for giving me the time.
Anytime, man. I appreciate it.
Okay, see ya.